Hello everyone, let us discuss about the basic considerations of pharmacokinetics part 2. Here we will be discussing about the methods of analysis of pharmacokinetic data. The method of analysis of pharmacokinetic data is broadly categorized into two types. The first one is model approach and the second one is model independent approach. Coming to model approach, it is again categorized into compartmental model, physiological model and distributed parameter model. Coming to model independent approach, they are non-compartmental analysis. Coming to pharmacokinetic model approach. A model is a hypothesis that employs mathematical terms to concisely describe quantitative relationships. A model is a theory or hypothesis. It employs the mathematical terms to describe the quantitative relationships. The pharmacokinetic models, they provide concise means of expressing mathematically and quantitatively the time course of drug throughout the body and compute a meaningful pharmacokinetic parameters. With the help of pharmacokinetic models, we can compute the pharmacokinetic parameters using expressions. Coming to the applications of pharmacokinetic model, they are used in characterizing the behaviors of drug in patients, in predicting the concentration of drug in various body fluids with any dosage regimen. They are useful in calculating the optimum dosage regimen for individual patients, for evaluating the risk of toxicity with certain dosage regimens, and correcting the plasma drug concentration with physiological response or pharmacological response. And they are also useful in determining the influence of altered physiology or disease state on drug ADME. They are also used for evaluating the bioequivalence or bioinequivalence between different formulations of the same drug. They are also employed in explaining the drug interactions. These are the various applications of pharmacokinetic models. Coming to the types of pharmacokinetic models, they are compartmental models, physiological models, and distributed parameter models. Coming to compartmental models, the compartmental analysis is a traditional and most commonly used approach for pharmacokinetic characterization of drugs. And these models, they simply interpolate the experimental data and allow an empirical formula to estimate the drug concentration with time. Every compartmental model has certain assumptions. They are: the body is represented as a series of compartments arranged by either in series or parallel to each other, which communicate reversibly with each other. The body is represented by series of compartments. They are arranged either in series or parallel to each other, and they communicate reversibly with each other. And within each compartment, the drug is considered to be rapidly and uniformly distributed. That is, the compartment is well stirred. And the rate of drug movement between compartments, that is entry and exit, is described by first order kinetics. This is an important point. And the rate constants are used to represent rate of entry and exit from the compartment. Coming to types of compartmental models, depending upon whether the compartments are arranged in parallel or in series, the compartmental models are divided into two categories: the mammalian model and quaternary model. Mammillary model, the most common compartment model used in pharmacokinetics. It consists of one or more peripheral compartments connected to the central compartment in a parallel manner. The central compartment comprises of plasma and highly perfused tissues such as lungs, liver, kidneys, etc., which rapidly equilibrate with the drugs. And the peripheral compartments are those with low vascularity and poor perfusion. The number of rate constants which will appear in a particular compartment model is given by R. For intravenous administration, that is IV administration, R is equals to 2n minus 1, and for extravascular administration, R is equals to 2n, where n is the number of compartments. The rate constants which appear in a particular compartment model are given by R. For IV administration, R is equals to 2n minus 1, and for extravascular administration, R is equals to 2n. Coming to various mammillary compartment models, they are model 1 and model 2. One compartment open model, intravenous administration. The second model is one compartment open model, extravascular administration, that is nothing but oral, rectal, etc. Here, in case of IV administration, the rate constant K01 is basically, in case of model 2, the rate constant K01 is basically Ka, that is first order absorption rate constant, and K10 is Ke, that is first order elimination rate constant. The basic difference between intravascular administration and extravascular administration is, in case of intravascular administration, the absorption rate constant is absent because there is no rate of absorption in case of IV. Whereas when it comes to extravascular administration, absorption rate constant plays an important role along with the elimination rate constant. Coming to the catenary model, in this model the compartments are joined to one another in a series like compartments of a train. This is however not observed physiologically or anatomically, as various organs are directly linked to the blood compartment, and the catenary model is rarely used. Coming to the advantages and applications of compartmental model, they are simple and flexible approach, and thus they are widely used. They give a visual representation of various rate processes involved in the drug disposition. They show how many rate constants are necessary to describe a particular process. They are useful in predicting the drug concentration time profile, both under normal physiological conditions and also in pathological conditions. And they are also important in developing a dosage regimen. They are useful whenever several therapeutic agents are compared, and the simplicity of these models allows for easy tabulation of parameters such as volume of distribution, T-half, etc. These are the various advantages and applications of compartmental models. Coming to the disadvantages, the compartments or parameters bear no relationship with the physiological functions or the anatomical structure of the species. And the model is based on curve fitting of plasma concentration with complex multi-exponential mathematical equations. And the model may vary within a steady population. The approach can be applied only to a specific drug under study. So these are the disadvantages. The approach can be applied to only a specific drug, and the model may vary within a steady population, and it is based on curve fitting of plasma concentration, and they also have complex multi-exponential mathematical equations. So these are the disadvantages of compartmental models. Coming to physiological models, they are also called as pharmacokinetic models, physiologically based pharmacokinetic models, PBPK models. They are drawn on a basis of known anatomical and physiological data and thus present a more realistic picture of drug disposition in various organs and tissues. The physiological models, they present more realistic picture of drug disposition, and the physiological models are further categorized into two types: blood flow rate limited models or perfusion rate limited models, and the second one is membrane permeation rate limited process models or diffusion limited models. Coming to blood flow rate limited models or perfusion rate limited models, these are based on the assumption that drug movement within the body region is much more rapid than its rate of delivery to the region by perfusing blood. And the next one is membrane permeation rate limited models. In this, the cell membrane acts as barrier for drug that gradually permeates by diffusion. Coming to the advantages of physiological models, the mathematical treatment is very straightforward and the model gives exact description of drug concentration time profile in any organ or tissue, and thus a better picture of drug distribution characteristics in the body is seen. And the method is frequently used in animals because invasive methods can be used to collect tissue samples, and the mechanism of ADME of drug can be easily explained by this physiological models. Coming to the disadvantages, whenever we consider a physiological model, obtaining the experimental data is very exhaustive, and most physiological models assume an average blood flow for individual subjects, and hence prediction of individualized dosing is difficult, and the number of data points is less than the pharmacokinetic parameters to be assessed. Monitoring of drug concentration in the body is difficult since exhaustive data is required. So these are some of the disadvantages of physiological models. Coming to the third model, the distributed parameter model. This model is analogous to physiological model, but it has been designed to take into account the variations in blood flow to an organ and the variations in drug diffusions in an organ. So these two variations are taken into consideration before developing a distributed parameter model. Coming to the next, non-compartmental analysis. This is also called as model independent analysis or method. It is based on the assumption that drugs or metabolites follow linear kinetics. If one considers time course of drug concentration and time profile as statistical distribution curve, then MTR, mean residence time, is equals to AUMC by AUC. AUMC is area under the first moment curve and AUC is the area under zero moment curve. And the mean residence time is defined as the average amount of time spent by a drug in the body before being eliminated. The trapezoid route is a method which involves dividing the curve by a series of vertical lines into number of trapezoids and calculating separately the area of each trapezoid and adding them together. So in order to assess the area under curve, trapezoid rule is used. Coming to the applications of non-compartmental techniques, they are mainly used to estimate the important pharmacokinetic parameters like bioavailability, clearance, apparent volume of distribution. They are also useful in determining half-life, rate of absorption, first order absorption rate constant, etc. The advantages are ease of derivation of pharmacokinetic parameters by simple algebraic equations. The same mathematical treatment can be applied to almost any drug or metabolite provided they follow first order kinetics. And a detailed description of drug disposition characteristics is not required whenever non-compartmental method is used. Coming to the disadvantages of non-compartmental methods, it provides limited information regarding the plasma drug concentration time profile, and the method does not adequately treat the non-linear cases.